This is CBC Here and Now.
The bases are overloaded with kids who want to play ball. I'm Mark Quinn, and I'll tell you why minor baseball is having major problems in St. John's. Coming up on Here and Now.
After a month of ice delays, the Hebron platform heads for the offshore.
This is a very exciting day for the Hebron project.
Potholes, one Cornerbrook man's quest to get rid of them any way he can.
One of the main components that I see personally as a difference is the mental math.
Having trouble helping your child with elementary school math? You're not alone, says one teacher.
Well, keep your coat close. Cool temperatures are settling in for much of the island this week. Nice and warm in Lab West, though. Your full weather forecast is coming up.
Well, after 4 weeks in a holding pattern, the Hebron oil platform is finally on the move. It left Bull Arm on Saturday and is now under tow to the Grand Banks, where it's expected to arrive in a couple of weeks.
The gravity-based structure will be fastened on the seafloor and pump first oil at the end of this year. Our national reporter Chris O'Neill Yates went out on a boat in Trinity Bay to watch the Hebron platform begin its voyage.
At long last, the wind did its job and cleared the ice out of Trinity Bay. Now the 750,000-ton Hebron oil platform finally begins its trek to the Grand Banks. The platform stands more than 30 stories high. Those 5 supply vessels in front and 3 behind will guide the platform to where it'll pump oil 350 kilometers offshore.
This is a very exciting day for the Hebron project.
For Jeff Parker and his team at ExxonMobil, this is the end of a 6-year project. Spring in Newfoundland is a tough master, so there was always a chance of delays.
We have had to wait the last month for the ice to clear, but the important thing for us was to make sure that we could do the tow safely, and so just to wait a few more weeks after working on it for 6 years, that's no big deal.
4 years under construction at a cost of $14 billion. It generated thousands of direct and indirect jobs. That economic activity will be missed in this area.
To finalise the project, a bittersweet day for all of us.
Jamie Connors is manager of the ferry company that transported people from land out to the construction site at Bull Arm.
That breaks down to 67,000 round trips back and forth from Back Cove to the rig. And if you work that out, that's nearly 6 round trips back and forth to Vancouver.
About 500 people will get new jobs on this oil platform. When oil is pumped from Hebron at the end of this year, the province will see some revenues trickle in. But it'll take 5 to 7 years to see major cash flow into provincial coffers. The Newfoundland offshore started with Hibernia, towed out in the spring of 1997, exactly 20 years ago. Now the second gravity-based platform, Hebron, will be pumping a heavier oil in deeper water and farther offshore. This is the province's 4th oil project, set to harvest the oil beneath the ocean in one of the harshest climates on Earth for at least the next 30 years. Chris O'Neill Yates, CBC News in Trinity Bay.
So that's the latest on Hebron. But what's ahead now that this massive construction project is all but complete? What does it mean for the job sector in this province? As Here and Now's Terry Roberts reports, companies and workers are being cautioned to prepare for a new reality.
To build something this massive takes an army. At its peak, there were 9,000 people working on the Hebron project. Now that the construction is done, it means fewer mega project jobs and dollars. It was all the talk in St. John's this morning at the Atlantic Province's Economic Council annual look at major projects. And all the talk is about the numbers. Major project spending in this province is down by 30% from just a few years ago. Here's the breakdown. $6.6 billion to be spent this year. Almost 1/3 of that is Muskrat Falls. But turn the clock back a few years. 2013 saw $9 billion spent. It was when Hebron and a new nickel plant at Long Harbour was at peak construction.
You know, you're not going to see Hebron and Muskrat Falls size projects going forward for a long time. This was a once in a generation type of investment. So you have to adjust, the companies and the labor force has to adjust a little bit to kind of that new reality of a little bit slower activity.
Slower, but how slow? If you look throughout Atlantic Canada, $13 billion is being spent on major projects this year. exactly half that right here in Newfoundland and Labrador.
It's still at a very high level historically, aside from that big blip that we saw a few years ago. If you look at what's happening in the rest of the Maritimes, similar amount, about $6.5 billion in the 3 Maritime provinces. So even though there's been a decline, still a lot happening here.
And what exactly is that? Well, there's still plenty of work left to be done on Muskrat Falls before it starts generating electricity in 3 years. Vale is poised to spend about $2 billion on a new underground mine in Labrador, one of several mining projects in the offing. Work on the newly approved West White Rose extension will begin this year. And then there's offshore exploration. There's record seismic activity this year, and 4 major oil players, including Statoil, plan to drill dozens of wells beginning next year.
We continue to invest in the area in anticipation of someday becoming a producing operator. That said, nothing can be taken for granted. While we continue to work very hard on trying to develop a robust business case for Bay du Nord, the competition for capital within Statoil remains very high.
So this new reality is not all negative. And this construction site right here is an example of that. It's MUN's new core science building, and it's going up right here at a cost of $325 million. So while major project spending may be down, we're still punching well above our weight when compared to our Atlantic neighbors. Terry Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
Arab countries in the Middle East have cut ties with Qatar, but the College of the North Atlantic says it's still business as usual at its Doha campus. 6 countries, including Saudi Arabia and Egypt, have halted all air, sea, and land traffic to Qatar, accusing them of supporting terrorism, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Qatar has denied the allegations. In an internal email to staff in Doha, the college's president, Ken McLeod, says it's treating this as a serious development, but in an email to CBC, the college says the Canadian embassy has not advised Canadians to do anything differently today, and so we are advising our staff and students that it is business as usual. We have classes going on without interruption, and students are preparing for intersession exams in 2 weeks.
Outrage is growing about the imprisonment of a Muskrat Falls protester at Her Majesty's Penitentiary. A handful of people have been protesting outside the St. John's prison since Beatrice Hunter was sent there from Labrador last week. She was jailed after refusing to agree to a court injunction that sets rules for protesting at the Nalcor site in Labrador. Hunter was sent to St. John's because the Women's Correctional Facility in Clarenville is full. Tonight, Indigenous leaders are voicing their frustration. The president of Nunatsiavut government says the men's prison is no place for Hunter and she should be moved to a more suitable place or released immediately. Joanna Slamp is calling on the provincial government to get involved and tell Nalcor to drop the charges against the protesters. Meanwhile, the president of Nunatuavut is also weighing in. Todd Russell says the justice system is flawed. Calling it an extremely challenging time for the Inuk grandmother, Russell says there is no indication that the justice system has taken into account the Indigenous perspective and issues central to this situation. In a statement, Justice Minister Andrew Parsons says it's not appropriate for government to intervene in a court case, but he says the female inmates at the pen are in a totally separate unit from male prisoners.
Well, the bad potholes in Corner Brook encouraged one man to fill them with flowers. Video of him potting potholes circulated online, and now the city is weighing in. Here Now's Colleen Connors has more.
Donnie Pinn spent his weekend planting flowers in potholes around the city. He patched up 10 spots with soil and grocery store flowers.
Just driving around every day, we just kind of see potholes, and we end up driving around, falling into them, and I don't know, just kind of got old, so see if we can bring some kind of awareness to it.
Pinn's vehicle has fallen into a few potholes, damaging his vehicle, and that's something people in Corner Brook can relate to.
They're seeing the same problems that I see every single day when I go out driving around and having to swerve around potholes and stuff. It's like an obstacle course.
But the city doesn't think planting daisies is the best approach.
We'd prefer people tell us about the pothole and where it's located so we can put a sign on it and warn drivers. Not sure about putting plants or so on in potholes. They could be a distraction to somebody driving at night in particular, but other than that, it's fairly harmless.
Pender says city maintenance crews can usually fix a bad pothole within a day or so.
What would you like the city to do about it?
Just fix the potholes was my main goal with the video.
It's only June, but so far, the Cornerbrook streets don't have as many potholes as last year.
Yeah, we do have less, but obviously there's some in key areas that we'd like to get fixed. So, it depends on where you're driving. I drive all over the place. I see them. When I see one, I either call it in or it's already called in. So other than that, our crews are around. They notice them, they mark them down, and we'll get to fix them.
Well, the city plans on doubling up their maintenance crew this summer in order to tackle all of these potholes and fix the roads as best they can. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
A developer in St. John says he has been cheated out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Vic Lawler is accusing the city of stalling his plans with unnecessary and expensive hurdles. Here Now's Ryan Cook has more.
Pedestrians come and go on Rope Walk Lane, crossing at this crosswalk. Seems pretty simple, right? But according to the city, the crosswalk is not equipped for its traffic, and it's on Vic Lawler to fix it.
I get nothing but backlash from the city, and it's unfortunate.
Lawler is the owner of Rope Walk Plaza. He's sunk millions into this property since buying it 3 years ago. When a KFC tried to open here in 2014, they were hit with roadblock after roadblock. Then came a meeting at City Hall. They wanted a crosswalk.
They turned around and said, Vic, if you want a permit for KFC, we want a new crosswalk. And I said, but there's already a crosswalk here. It's been here for 20 years. No issues with it. Yeah, we'd like a better one, they said. One with traffic lights and everything. And I said, well, who's going to pay for it? And they said, oh, you are. And I said, so this is legalized extortion.
Lawler says the crosswalk was estimated at $71,000. He paid a deposit, a permit was granted, and the restaurant opened. Yet to date, the same old crosswalk exists.
I gave him a $50,000 security deposit over 2 years ago. I haven't seen a set of drawings, and I asked for my $50,000 back because this crosswalk's never been built, and it's fallen on deaf ears from Mayor O'Keefe right on down to every councillor is there.
Then came other issues with the Burger King next door. $250,000 to move an entrance 30 feet, $20,000 for a fire hydrant. Lawler feels he is being targeted, unfairly singled out by city staff. CBC spoke with Lawler last Wednesday, then we called City Hall, and then something happened. By the end of the week, Lawler had his plan sent to him for a new crosswalk. But what about the legalized extortion comment? Well, that's just too hot for City Hall.
I don't really have a comment on that kind of thing. I don't even know the name of the developer, and he has to deal with city staff on this issue as any developer would.
Traffic will soon run a little smoother here, but Lawler expects the rocky road will continue with City Hall. For Here and Now in St. John's, I'm Ryan Cook.
Well, the cruise season kicked off in St. John's today. The city says it should be a record year with 36 ships set to dock in the capital city. And those who cater to tourists, they're pretty excited. Peggy Lamb has our story.
The Ocean Endeavour, the first ship of the season, is getting ready to set sail with its 200 passengers. Hopefully, this is as bad as it gets for them. But they've managed to make the best of it and find their way indoors.
Most cruise ships that come in, they have arrangements already, a pre-existing arrangement with some of the local tour companies who always bring the tourists to the building. And so then we have to prepare by putting on extra staff on the front desk and in the gift shop so that we're ready for large numbers that come in bulk pretty quickly.
Mark Sidney works with the travel company that runs the Ocean Endeavour. He says their customers in the UK are increasingly interested in Newfoundland.
I think it's something that's going to keep happening. We're getting more inquiries this year than we've ever had for Newfoundland, so I'm sure it will keep growing. And I can see the similarities between kind of England and Ireland, and so in terms of the scenery and stuff. So no, I think it will continue to grow, and yeah, hopefully it does.
The cruise ships also benefit local businesses. Jackie Rice from the Down Home Gift Shop says they get around 75% of the cruise passengers coming in.
The one today is only small, it's 198 people. I say we've seen at least half of them already today. Yeah, it's been a great day.
They pick up souvenirs, knitted socks, t-shirts, hats, and cookbooks, and it all adds up. The other good news, 45,000 visitors are expected, more than double last year. Peggy Lamb, CBC News, St. John's.
Why so many parents are having trouble understanding their kids' math homework.
This weather update is brought to you by the Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 400 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
And welcome back, everyone.
Yes, and look who's here with us tonight, Mr. Jeremy Eaton. Welcome to that side of the desk, first night.
Well, yeah, it's a big honor. Why, thank you. And I'm not sure they called the right person when they reached for a cell phone number, but, well, here I am.
Now, speaking of new additions, and welcome, there's a new addition to the Here and Now family. Ryan Snoddon is once again a new dad. Just have a look.
Yes, this is Max. All 9 pounds, 2 ounces of him came into the world late Friday night.
Now, Mom Annie is doing well. She and Max arrived home from hospital yesterday afternoon, and look at those eyes.
Oh, my goodness.
And older brother, that's Levi, is getting a snuggle in here with Max and Ryan, playing the role of proud papa. Of course he would. Congratulations to Annie and Ryan. Great news.
Well, that'll warm your heart, which is exactly what we need right now because of all of these cold temperatures. Terrible day in St. John's today, wasn't it? All the rain and cold right to your bone. So this is a look at the headlines. There's a risk of frost overnight tonight on the southwest coast. So Corner Brook, Stephenville, if you have your plants out, make sure you bring them in because it's going to be chilly there tonight. Clearing and cool tomorrow. All this rain that's hanging around now, that's going to taper off to drizzle and then move out tomorrow morning. And Labrador is just beautiful right now. We'll show you that in just a moment. This is the precipitation that has been making for a very wet day in St. John's in the Avalon Peninsula today. About 30 millimeters of rain expected to fall by the time it's all said and done. But you can see here that it will be moving off overnight tonight. By midnight, that'll be gone. We'll have lots of heavy cloud cover and some drizzle, but it should lighten up overnight tonight. You can see some showers to start the day over in the Nain area. These are the temperatures that we're looking at overnight tonight. You can see pretty cold, all in the low single digits, and some showers and drizzle across the island really overnight tonight. Now moving into Tuesday afternoon, see, it's pretty nice in St. John's tomorrow. We'll see some sun a little bit. It's going to be chilly, but you can see the rain that's moving down here in the Straits and Mary's Harbor area for tomorrow, and that will move off by tomorrow night. We're going to start our day in St. John's tomorrow with some drizzle, 3 degrees. It's going to warm up to 8. I know, it's not great for June. So 8 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, and that'll stick around until the evening time, 7 degrees as the high in the evening. This is a closer look at some temperatures for tomorrow. Ferryland, 10 degrees, some cloud. Clarenville, 13 degrees. Marystown, 15 tomorrow. Moving into Central, you can see Terra Nova is going to be a cloudy day. Double digits though, 13 degrees. Grand Falls, Windsor will see some showers in the morning and it'll be a bit warmer there, 16. Moving over to the West Coast, much nicer on the West Coast tomorrow. Corner Brook, 16 degrees as the high tomorrow, and you can see lots of sunshine. Not so nice as we go up to the Straits. Mary's Harbor, 14 degrees. They'll be hit with those showers there tomorrow. 12 degrees in St. Anthony. And moving over to Labrador, just look at Labrador City. 20 degrees tomorrow. That's what we want, right? We want that 20 degrees, but sadly, we can't have it yet. So yeah, 20 degrees in Lab City and some sunshine there. Some showers in the Churchill Falls area, but still nice and warm, 18 degrees. Much cooler along the coast, 7 degrees with lots of cloud cover there. So it's not going to be getting much better for us as the week goes on, if you're in the east at least. Lovely in Labrador, but I'll have all your details on your long range coming up a little later.
Well, the St. John's Minor Baseball League is bursting at the seams. Organizers are happy that interest in the game is growing, but they also say it is creating some problems. Here Now's Mark Quinn's been looking into this, and he's at a place where there are a lot of young ball players tonight. Mark?
Well, Debbie, I'm at the Techniplex by Kitty Beatty Lake, of course, and there are dozens of players here getting ready for this summer season. I'm here with Mike Buist, and he's the executive director of St. John's Minor Baseball. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark.
Now tell us, what kind of interest is there in minor baseball this year?
Well, we've really experienced, I wouldn't say an explosion, but a considerable increase in the awareness, not just this year, over the last couple of years. We've gone, I guess, from about 2 years ago, about 625, to last year we had about 725. This year we're 850 and counting, so that's considerable, a very significant increase for us. It's great.
It's a lot of growth. What do you think's driving all this growth?
Well, I'm sure there's a couple of reasons. One, you can see behind you, I think of the 100 kids here tonight, you'll probably see 80 Blue Jay shirts. So no question the Blue Jays have had a great influence on the awareness for baseball. The kids all watch them. Secondly, this facility, it's a Techniplex. We have a spring training program now. We had a 12-week winter ball program that was sold out. So that's really helped over the last 4 or 5 years. And thirdly, I think baseball in our program is good value for money. So I think we've had a lot of good word-of-mouth advertising, both from the kids and from the moms.
So in a way, it's a good problem to have, but also it's created some problems. What sort of problems have been created by this popularity?
Well, of course, we can order extra jerseys and extra baseballs, but we can't make diamonds. So we do have we put it this way, we've reached our maximum this year anyways with the facilities that the city is able to provide us. And let's face it, there's lots of other sports that need facilities too. So this year we'll have to make do with what we have, and the city's been very good to sit down with us and discuss maybe some future considerations of adding to the inventory for us. So that's great.
Has it meant you had to turn people away, or do you have wait lists?
Well, we do have wait lists in pretty well all of our divisions, Mark. We'll try to finagle more kids in, but when you reach a certain level, obviously, if you had too many kids on a team, it ruins it for everybody. So we do have to have a cutoff, and unfortunately, we're probably going to have to say no to some youngsters who really want a game of ball this year, unfortunately.
That can't be easy to say no to kids.
I hate the word NO. I hate to use the word. But again, we might even try to do a little day camp program just to keep the kids interested anyways, to give them some type of baseball this year.
What do you think the solution is? Is there anything the city can do to help you?
Well, I think the city's doing everything they can. As I said, there's only so many facilities. They're even talking about maybe converting, like example, a couple soccer fields into baseball diamonds in the future. So I think they're doing everything they can given the resources they have, etc. So the guys do a great job in the baseball diamonds, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. It's Mike Buist, and you're the Executive Director of the Minor Baseball Association here in St. John's. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Now, I also spoke, thank you very much. Now, I also spoke with Danny Breen, and he's with the city, of course. He's a city councillor who's involved in sports in the city. And he said that creating new fields is a very expensive proposition. Here's what he had to say.
Having lit fields are very expensive. We have a number of them in the minor program, but to build new lit fields is quite a capital expense.
Do you have a sense? I guess I can ask for a ballpark figure, but do you have a sense how much it costs to light a field?
Lights alone will be $500,000 per field, so that's obviously a challenging number. But you know, if we can work around with minor baseball and be able to put together some kind of partnership on fields without lights, that right now will be a good start, I think.
Now, of course, Danny Breen said there aren't many fields in St. John's that aren't already being used. They don't want to displace other teams, soccer teams, for example.
There's a growing and controversial trend in dog food, feeding your favorite pooch a raw meat diet. Advocates swear by it, but up next we'll hear from a vet who says it's probably not a great idea and could actually put people at risk. That's next. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, it is a growing trend. People are feeding their dogs raw meat. Now, the diet has been promoted by some vets and many social media sites. And there is a burgeoning business in raw dog meat diets, including in this province. But for all the touted benefits, it may have negative effects for humans. That's the cautionary tale from Dr. Maggie Brown-Burry, head of the Provincial Veterinary Medical Association. So Maggie, you've brought company with you today. Who's this?
This is Ollie.
Hi, Ollie. Aren't you great?
12-year-old Rottweiler mix.
Now you're giving Ollie this kind of treat. Does he get raw food?
No.
How come?
Well, Ollie in particular actually has had intestinal problems. So he gets very, very specialized treats and food, and anything he's not used to causes a mess in my house. So there's no proven benefits that raw food would be any better than for him than cooked food, but raw food provides a risk to my house and my environment.
Well, let's talk about the raw food diet in some detail. I mean, advocates swear by it. They say it's very healthy for their dogs. It's better than commercial food that's got additives and grains. So what specifically do you say is wrong with a raw food diet for your dog, like Ollie?
Raw food diet has become very easy to feed now that there are commercial options available, and so it's become something that people can feed without doing their research. And if you do your research, you'll find that it does increase the risk of bacterial contamination in the dog's environment. So his dish, his feces, where he sleeps, everywhere could have more E. coli, Listeria, Clostridium, which are all bacteria that can cause disease in people.
Is there any harm to the actual pet, the dog, from eating raw meat? Because as we know, I mean, dogs in the wild do this. Why not for your dog?
Well, the argument that it's what they do in the wild, our counter argument to that is always wolves only live on average 6 years. So do you really want a fully natural lifestyle for your pet dog who hopefully you want for more than 6 years? The other side of it though is there are risks to the raw food diet fad, not necessarily because the food is raw, but because if you're doing it yourself, it might not be balanced. So it might not be meeting their nutritional needs. Some people that feed a raw food diet include bones in that diet, and that can cause problems to their teeth. They can break their teeth. It can cause problems going through the intestines. They can have obstructions. And if your dog, like a person, is immune compromised, so if your dog's on chemotherapy because it has cancer, if it just went through surgery, now you have more bacteria in your house, that's going to be a risk to the dog as well.
What could potentially happen to the person?
I have a colleague who their client was feeding a raw food diet and their young child ended up in sick kids with sepsis due to E. coli. So you have to think about the family unit and who else is involved with the dog, because it's very easy for an adult to wash their hands after they handle the dog, wash the dishes right after they handle it, but is the child too young to make that connection? And children stick their hands everywhere and then they stick them in their mouths.
So bottom line is, if a pet owner wants to try this raw food diet, if they come to you, you're going to caution them to do exactly what?
I'm going to ask them why, because some people don't really have a reason except they've heard their dog will do better. Well, what's wrong with your dog? What do you want to improve? And if there is a concern, for example, allergies, for sure. Raw food diet helps because the ingredient list is limited, so you're exposing the dog to less. Cooked diet, a home cooked diet, is going to get you the same. And they have done studies. It has been proven that a raw food diet will be digested maybe more easily than a kibble for some dogs, but there's no difference between the raw meat-based diet and a cooked meat-based diet.
Very polarizing issue. Maggie Brown-Burry, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thanks for letting us meet Ollie.
So this was not the math that I did when I was in school, and probably not the math that most parents out there of children who are in elementary school were familiar with either.
Coming up next, is your child's math homework giving you a headache? one teacher says you are not alone. With the school year winding down, many students are cluing up their work or studying hard for final exams. Some may even be turning to their parents for help. And one of the trickier subjects these days, and almost always has been, is mathematics. If you're baffled by your child's math homework, one elementary school teacher on the Northeast Avalon says that you're not alone. Here's Deanne Burton-Snow.
This was not the math that I did when I was in school, and probably not the math that most parents out there of children who are in elementary school were familiar with either. One of the main components that I see personally as a difference is the mental math and the ability to be able to explain an answer. So, everybody is familiar with their facts, and that's probably the easiest example I can use. So if you had two groups of 4, and we say groups of 4 now, but other people would remember it as 2 times 4, is 8. Well, in the past, that probably would have been good enough. But now we're expecting them to more take that answer and apply it to other answers. Years ago, I know when I sat down in my grade 5 classroom, the teacher said, open up your book to page whatever it was, and everybody in the class opened up their book, and we proceeded to do pages and pages of products or quotients or whatever it was that particular day. There was very little to no explanation required. I'm doing a multiplication unit, and that seems to raise the ire of many people. I introduced a number of strategies to my students. And so one of the strategies would be, okay, so let's say that we know what 5 groups of 7 is, or 5 times 7. Well, everybody knows that that's 35, because typically they count that on their hands, and those are easy ones to do. Well, then I might say, and I might propose the problem, well, can you tell me what 7 groups of 7 is? Using what 5 groups of 7 is. So they have to say, well, 5 groups of 7 is 35. Okay, if I want to figure out 7 groups of 7, that means I have to add on 2 more groups of 7, because 5 plus 2 gives me those extra 2 groups that I need to get 7 times 7. So they would be in effect writing down 35 plus 7 and giving me the answer. So you have to think about it. That's a lot more challenging than what I did years ago. And you have to have a very good understanding of math. in order to be able to think that way. There are a lot of good components to this program. And for different types of learners, like a visual learner, an auditory learner, a kinesthetic learner, there's lots of things for them. But are we expecting them to do more than what I did when I was in grade 5? Yes, I believe that we are. It is more challenging in that respect. You could look at it two ways. Some people are all for the practice, 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 and yes, there are times when they need practice, and I will send home practice sheets for parents to help their kids with. But it's not all about every day sitting down and doing those pages. Like if I bring myself back and try and put myself back in grade 5, were those some of my happy moments? No. Did I learn a lot? Yes. Like now we have games and they use their math games to figure out answers, and you have two people in a partnership talking to each other, socializing, and you know what? In this day and age, we need to promote that as well. So it's not just the math we're getting at, we are trying to get these kids to cooperate, and that's an important skill that they need to have as well. My husband is Joe Average, sitting at home, parent to a child in grade 2. And so our child is in grade 2. He does not understand this program. I can demystify that process for him. But unless you have an elementary teacher at home who can kind of give you a breakdown on where this is coming from and where it is going, it has to be challenging for parents at home. Consult your teachers, because your teachers are the professionals and they're there to help, the students, and they're also there to help you. If you have questions about it, a teacher is only too happy to help you out. In fact, we're probably delighted that you have taken the time to want to help your child learn about the process, rather than tell them that, oh, this is not how we used to do it, and I give up hope type thing. Because the minute that we don't have that partnership between the home and the school, we've lost something.
Any trouble following along there? And you don't have to answer.
No. Well, Debbie, there are some tricks to help parents and young students. So here's more of Deanne Burton-Snow.
You would start from left to right. So if everybody wants to try that out at home now, you can give it a shot and put your two hands directly out in front of you. And if you come over to your far left, so your pinky finger, if I was to do, for example, 9 groups of 4, so I wanted you to figure out 9 groups of 4, well then I would be asking you to count up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, ideally, with your two hands, you're going to put that finger down. Then I would ask you, okay, how many digits or fingers are prior to the one that you have poked down? Well, there's 1, 2, 3. That gives us our 3. And how many are after the finger that you have poked down? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9 groups of 4 is 36. And you can do this with any of your 9 times facts.
I think I'm too far along in my math education to try to do that, but if you want to check out more of these homework helper videos, you can go to our CBC NL YouTube site.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone Hearing Service St. John's, helping the world hear better.
I'm looking at a lot of numbers today, but I'm not really liking what I'm seeing, at least for us here on the Avalon.
And that people, not only the numbers of the temperature, but also all the rain that fell.
Yes, yes, but it's actually cooler along the northeast coast. There is a risk of freezing drizzle there tonight. So we have frost on the south west coast and freezing drizzle along the northeast coast. So I have a picture here to show you. Part of the reason why they have a risk of freezing drizzle is, of course, because of all of the ice. This is in Embry, and Environment Canada was talking to me this morning, telling me about how the ice is keeping the temperatures really cool down there, hence the risk of freezing drizzle tonight. So I just thought to start with looking at the rest of the country, because it's quite striking, isn't it? 3 degrees in St. John's. We're actually colder than in Iqaluit right now. So I don't know. It's It's not great. So this is a look at temperatures tomorrow. The rain that we had today in the east, that's going to continue overnight tonight with some drizzle. So you may wake up to some drizzle tomorrow morning, but that should clear off throughout the day. We're looking at 8 degrees in St. John's tomorrow, and drizzle as well throughout the island. A bit warmer in Grand Falls, Windsor tomorrow, 16 degrees, and a beautiful day coming for Lab City tomorrow, 20 degrees there with some sun. So there's going to be some showers and moving in around the Straits area tomorrow. And then moving into Wednesday morning, we're here now. We can see that there are more showers that will be coming our way on the island for Corner Brook, but looking quite nice in Labrador and nice and clear here on the Avalon Peninsula. So this is what's shaping up for Wednesday. You can see temperatures still not great in the east, 10 degrees as the high on Wednesday and a mix of sun and cloud. Warmer as you go to central Newfoundland, some showers, a risk of showers there, 16 degrees, 15 degrees on the west coast, and it's still lovely up in Labrador, at least if you're in the interior. Along the coast it's much cooler, of course, but 19 degrees and cloudy skies there. So moving ahead on Thursday, this is Thursday morning, nice and clear over the island, some showers there in Lab West. Thursday afternoon, sun and cloud, another 10-degree day. Could be worse, I guess. 18 degrees in central Newfoundland, sun and cloud there, 19 on the west coast, and still plugging away in Labrador with some nice 20-degree temperatures there. So Environment Canada is keeping its eye on a rainstorm that's potentially coming for us this weekend. It's still way too early to know how that's going to shape up, but they are keeping their eye on it. So that's for Saturday. So that's something we'll be waiting to find out more on. And looking at Labrador for the rest of the week, some showers will be moving in. Temperatures dropping a little bit there to the mid-teens. And yeah, so enjoy it while you can. A little bit later, I'll have your viewer picture of the day.
Let's meet our young athlete of the day. This is 8-year-old Brendan Murphy from Buren. Jason enjoyed his first year in the novice division with the Marystown Minor Hockey Association, and one of his proudest moments was when he scored his first goal and was named Player of the Game.
Brendan is a big fan of the Canadians, and this year he got to go to Montreal to see a game. He's already looking forward to getting back on the ice next season.
Way to go, Brendan. You are our young athlete of the day.
Well, to minor baseball again. As we told you earlier in the program, minor baseball is growing in leaps and bounds in St. John's. It means the league can't keep up with the demand and has been forced to turn some people away. Here now's Mark Quinn's been looking into this, and he joins us once again at the spring training taking place at the Technoplex near Kitty Vitty. Mark?
Well, Debbie, that's right. There are about 100 kids here tonight who are here for the spring training. Maybe one of them will be the athlete of the day someday, who knows. But I'm here tonight with one of the coaches here, Mark Healy, who's one of the coaches here with all these kids here and with other tournaments around the city as well. So welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
What's it like to coach all these kids? What's it like for you?
Oh, it's, baseball is one of my passions in my life, so it's great to be able to have played for many years and they'll put some back into minor baseball. Obviously, having this facility here helps a lot for the game. It allows us to start, in January. I think January 6th we started this year, and give the kids an opportunity to be on the field throughout the year and in preparation for the summer, because obviously we don't have that long of summertime in St. John's for sure. So.
When I spoke with Mike Buist, he said it's really growing in popularity, and there's about 850 kids now in this minor league. Why do you think the popularity's been growing? I see a lot of Blue Jays shirts here. That might be a hint.
Definitely, there's a couple of factors. Blue Jays are definitely one of the #1 priorities. You go back in history, back in '92 and '93 when the Jays won the World Series, numbers were way up in St. John's minor baseball and baseball across the province for that. And then it sort of had a dip. But now with the Blue Jays' success the last couple of years, kids are watching. Not only are the Blue Jays doing it on the field, off the field, they're putting a lot of money and time into promoting the sport across the country with baseball.
Moving moments on stage yesterday in England, Manchester singing in solidarity.
The One Love Manchester concert took place last night after the concert bombing 2 weeks ago. Ariana Grande and other top artists raised money for the victims' families.
Welcome back to Here and Now. People are out and about in the British capital again less than 2 days after another deadly attack in the city.
Start to think that this is the new normal now.
We have to live, you know, we're not scared of them.
People walk across London Bridge on their way to work, the same bridge where 3 men in a van rammed into pedestrians on Saturday night. They killed 7 people. Police shot the attackers dead within minutes. Raids continued today as security forces try to find out if the attackers had any help. 11 people are in custody.
Alberta Premier Rachel Notley is among the many people remembering the Canadian victim of the London attack. Christine Archibald, or Chrissy as she was known, was with her fiancé for a weekend in London when she was killed. Her former professor remembers her as a strong student who was going to make a difference.
She understood the field. She understood what social work was about. No doubt that she had the capacity to be a successful social worker. I've lost a companion. Her family has lost a treasure.
The Archibald family is requesting that donations be made to homeless shelters in Christine's honor. Now, it didn't take long for people to respond on Twitter. Many noted her ability to connect. Some pledged money to Alpha House, the Calgary shelter where she once worked. People are also using the hashtag Chrissy sent me. Her family now plans to start a charity in her name to keep her memory alive.
Such an unfortunate story, and here's another one out of the U.S. Police in Florida say 5 people are dead after a shooting in an industrial area near Orlando. The shooter was a former employee of the company who'd recently been fired.
The individual was armed with a handgun and a knife this morning.
There's no indication that he used a knife on any of the victims, but shot 5 innocent people this morning and then turned the gun on himself.
Police say the 45-year-old gunman was disgruntled after being fired from the company in April. They say 7 other employees escaped from the facility without injuries. Investigators say the gunman assaulted an employee at the company 3 years ago, but no charges were laid.
This is a man in Three Hills, Alberta, mowing his lawn while a tornado swirls behind him. It's causing quite a storm on social media.
Oh my goodness, look at that. His wife took the picture and says the tornado was much farther away than it appears. Apparently, the brave mower was determined to cross the lawn off his to-do list. Besides, he says he was keeping an eye on it. Yeah.
We want to introduce you to snappers, the lobster. Now, he's a rare 4-clawed crustacean caught in Norris Point on the west coast of the island. He has 1 regular-sized claw on the left and 3 fully functioning smaller claws on the right. Now, it's normal for lobsters to regenerate a claw, but rare for all the claws to be fully functioning like old snappers are. Now, if you'd like to visit him, he is currently on display at the Bond Bay Marine Station in Norris Point.
I'd say that's a pretty lucky lobster. Special so no one will eat him, right? All right, so let's look at how things are shaping up for tomorrow. Temperatures in St. John's not looking great, 8 degrees with some drizzle for the morning. Some double-digit temperatures across the island, though, not bad in Corner Brook tomorrow, 16 degrees. Labrador looking lovely on the interior, not so much along the coastline, 6 degrees in Cartwright, 20 tomorrow in Lab City. So it's going to be a lovely day there tomorrow. So this is our viewer picture of the day, and I just thought this was so beautiful. This is of Tickle Cove Pond in Bonavista.
That is magical.
Yeah, that was taken at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday. Thank you very much to Judy Russell Dooley for sending that in. And I should thank also Holly Blake earlier for her picture as well.
Yeah, with a beautiful shot of the ice and the dog. Thank you. And thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.